Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. I hope you're having a good week. Now, if you hate Piers Morgan as much as I do, which is unlikely because I really do hate the cunt, you will be amused to hear that he may be the recipient of a writ, a legal action by Jake Paul and Most Valuable Promotions, MVP Promotions, because of what they consider to be defamation, what Paul's lawyers consider to be defamation, in stating that the fight that Paul had with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was essentially staged, and that all Paul's fights are essentially staged. Now, I've said many, many times that I can draw an absolute line down the middle with Jake Paul. I think his boxing career is farcical and fraudulent and not really worth covering. But the stuff he does outside the ring, with promotional endeavours and giving fighters opportunities, especially the women's game, absolutely laudable. Big respect to Jake Paul for that. And even if you dislike Jake Paul, as far as I'm aware, he's never doctored photos for his shitty little tabloid rags. He's never been an apologist for bribing police officers, and he's never, as far as I know, advocated the phone tapping of a dead schoolgirl's mobile. Step forward, Mr. Piers Morgan. I think he's a degenerate. I think he's a vile individual and entirely dislikable in every conceivable way, a total morally redundant, no moral compass. And a self-loving narcissist who's probably gutless as well with it. But anyway, enough about Mr. Morgan. I'm always disappointed when I get up in the morning and I read the obituaries and Piers Morgan isn't in them. Anyway, let's move on from Piers Morgan. Look. Anyway, as I say, Jake Paul, not happy with this. Morgan has been taking the piss out of Jake Paul. I think Paul was on his show, called him a dumbass, and Morgan just sort of tried to laugh it off unconvincingly. And to be honest with you, I find this difficult to disagree even with Piers Morgan about the level of Jake Paul's trash that he peddles inside the ring. But are they actual setups? I don't think they have to be. No, I made a video about this saying I don't think they are setups. I think that, fighting a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, what the fuck do you expect? The guy's 58, nearly 60 years of age, and he's in a ring with a guy who's, who hasn't fought for 20 years and is in there against a guy who at least takes the game seriously and is in his physical prime. He's a young man, Jake Paul. Same with, the retiree, that weed smoker, Chavez Jr., had his issues, hasn't he, outside the ring, 39 years of age. Do you really need to set him up? Does that need to be a setup? I don't think so. So it will be interesting to see how this unravels. Jake Paul's manager, a guy called, or is it a lady, Nikisa Bidarian? Is that a female or a male? I have no idea. Sorry, I don't know the name Nikisa. Sounds female, but whatever the fuck it is. He or she said, when you definitively state that Jake is putting on staged or rigged fights, that's just defamation and you're causing substantial damage to his business, to MVP's business, and something that's 100% not true. So Bidarian said this in defense of Jake Paul. It's a federal crime to stage a fight. So that's going to get a lot more aggressive in going after these individuals who make these statements. In the world of social media, these false statements get carried in a way that people will start to believe the narrative. And that was the genesis of the issues with Dana White, another one who's crossed swords with Jake Paul, because he was saying one thing, Jake's fights are rigged, and that he's using steroids was another piece of nonsense. People can't believe what Jake is doing, and we're in the process of pursuing legal action. 100%. Enough is enough. Enough time has passed that Jake can show what he can do in the ring, and people can criticise. That's okay, but don't make false accusations. The damage is we're in business with DAZN, Netflix, Celsius. What is Celsius? I don't even know what the fuck that is. And that's the damage that you're causing, because you're forcing us to have conversations with our partners that are just unjustifiable. Our representation is looking at multiple individuals to go after. Now, all this would be, I would have more sympathy for Jake Paul were it not for the fact that he, from what I gather, he kind of made his name by pranking people, by talking shit, by gaslighting, by, telling what, Mao Zedong called the big lie, which is, you say a lie that's big enough, and if someone else even acknowledges it, you've given it some sort of kudos or some sort of legitimacy, because suddenly it becomes part of a narrative, even though it's a ridiculous statement. Well, Paul has made, he's had plenty of traction out of this tactic. So when people turn around and throw things back at him, it does seem a little churlish, a little childish. But then I don't consider, although I'm not critical of everything Jake Paul does, like I said, his promotional stuff is good. But he does seem to me to be just like, he has the mentality of, or the emotional maturity, shall we say, of a 14-year-old boy. Not very advanced. But Piers Morgan certainly is someone who's in the crosshairs of Jake Paul and his legal team. And I don't think Morgan actually gives a damn, really. I don't think he particularly cares. I don't know how US law would work. Morgan doesn't live in the US anymore. I believe he's moved back to Britain. More's the pity. I wish you Americans had kept him. Okay, now. But anyway, we'll see what happens. So, yeah, they're not happy, are they? But we'll see. Go on, Jake, give him hell, son. Take him down, sue him for every penny you can get. Let me know what you think. Do you care? Probably not. Got any opinions? I think it's all a bit funny, really. It's all a bit of a daft load of nonsense, but we'll see. All right. Thank you very much for watching the video. Hit the like button if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Do all that good stuff. Thank you very much, and bye for now.